You're watching Rurouni K95's movie review on Go For It. Hi, Ruronis. This is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's movie review we get to cover once again, and another Italian movie for today's movie review is Go For It. Go For It, also known in Italian as Nati con la Camicia, is a 1983 Italian comedy film and spy movie parody starring Terence Hill and Bud Spencer. It was filmed in Miami, Florida, as well. And the music was composed by Franco Michalizzi. This movie was directed by Enzo Barboni, who is known for the movies such as They Call Me Trinity and Trinity is Still My Name, as well as Crime Busters, Go For It, Double Trouble, as well. Because, because Terence Hill and Bud Spencer are known for the Trinity movies, like Trinity is Still My Name and They Call Me Trinity as well. So, without any further ado, let's review the movie Go For It, featuring Terence Hill and Bud Spencer. But before we do that, because let's talk about how this movie was filmed. Okay, this movie was filmed in Florida in the United States, Miami, Florida in the United States of America. And despite that Bud Spencer and Terence Hill movie, Go For It has never gotten a DVD release yet. But it looks like something I'm pretty sure Warner Archive Collection would have gotten a DVD release with the English language track on it. But it did got a VHS release from either Warner Home Video or any home video company that has released Go For It as well, if you ever been watching the movie as well. Because despite how this movie was filmed in Florida, and yet because Terence Hill and Bud Spencer were known for the Trinity movies, as well as God Forgives I Don't, Ace High, and Boot Hill, as well as Watch Out, We're Mad, Crime Busters, Double Trouble, Odds and Evens, Crime Busters, Miami Super Cops as well, because Terence Hill and Bud Spencer are from Italy as well. So let's review the movie. Go for it. Let's begin. The charming Dodger, Roscoe Franzer and Doug Riordan, a convict recently released from sinking a yacht which had annoyed him, meet each other during a rough brawl in a roadhouse. They drove off in a truck, each one thinking of the other as the trucker. Not long afterwards, before the highway patrol stops them for speeding. And since they cannot produce proper papers, they are mistaken for the truck jackers the police has been looking for. Thanks to Roscoe being a ventriloquist, and however, they are able to get away. By this time, Doug would rather run off alone, but can't get rid of Roscoe, who has taken a liking to him. Together, they drive to the airport in order to go into hiding in some other state. Since the flight to Miami is already booked up, they pose as passengers Steinberg and Mason. As well, you guessed it, because they have been booked on a flight to Miami, Florida. I mean, the country of the because this movie has the country of the origin of Italy and the United States of America as well. Come to think of it, who have failed to collect their tickets, not knowing these two are CIA top agents on a mission. As such, they are intercepted by an agent just before their flight takes off and given a suitcase containing $1 million. After various mishaps and estranglements, they are taken to the CIA headquarters to meet Tiger, their new boss, and are asked on several occasions to omit various embarrassing incidents which would have cast a bad light on the CIA staff involved from their final report. In order to track down a mysterious or secret organization hiding in the Miami Beach, which is located in Florida, Roscoe and Doug are tasked to impersonate rich Texans in disguise, particularly because it is a Italian comedy and a spy movie parody film as well. So, above all this, they seek succeeded quite well at this, and in the end, managed to track down K1, a megalomaniac criminal who wants to erase mankind's understanding of all numbers with his K bomb, plunging the world into chaos. They put a stop to his plan, but in the end, they can't benefit from their perks and can't enjoy the $1 million because an overeager tiger has already given the money back to the government, a visit to the president as they get out of it as well. So that's my plot review about the film Go For It, also known as Nati con la Camicia. And yet, this movie was released in Italy, particularly on November 25th, 1983, in Italian cinema theaters as well. I think that's probably in Italy as well, as doing over a fact of how this movie has gotten. And also, Terence Hill and Bud Spencer were being interviewed on Entertainment Weekly tonight when they were on the set for the film Go For It, including the Miami Sea Aquarium with these killer whales. And as well, they made the movie particularly because Terence Hill and Bud Spencer are known for the Trinity movies as well as Watch Out We're Mad, because they were on the movie together since they did the movies such as the Giuseppe Colizzi films like Ace High, God Forgives I Don't, and Boot Hill as well, particularly for this Italian film like Go For It as well. Come to think of it, the song that you hear at the beginning of the movie Go For It is the song In the Middle of All That Trouble Again, was performed by Sir Albert Douglas Meakin from the band Super Robots in that one, which it has opened the film, especially the scene where the character Terence Hill plays in the movie. He was rollerblading during the montage at the beginning of the movie Go For It, because this movie features Terence Hill and Bud Spencer in this movie. And the character Faith Minton plays in the movie, particularly the character that the vamp is played by Faith Minton, who is known for Cheech and Chong's next movie, Knight Rider, VIP, Murder, She Wrote, with William Wyndon, Simon and Simon, Fantasy Island, Night Court, and I think she was also in Smokey and the Bandit Part 3, I believe, with Jackie Gleason as well. And come to think of it, this is your typical Italian movie that features some American actors on there as well, but there's some Italian actors in it as well. Unlike any other Italian movies that came out in the 80s, particularly, I mean, this is one of them, particularly. I mean, I recall that Terence Hill and Bud Spencer are basically Italy's answer to Laurel and Hardy, because they're the big time duo from the spaghetti western wrapped in the humor, but basically they were known for the Trinity movies as well. I mean, come to think of it, Terence Hill and Bud Spencer are now as two drifters who meet each other and are being mistaken as thieves, but they escape thanks to the ventriloquist skills of Hill. Later on, when the hustlers travel by plane and are confused for the two international spies and someone given a luggage full of $1 million. After that, pair has become involved in the several adventures and a rare situations full of risks, dangers, and fun. I mean, the big time duo, which Terence Hill and Bud Spencer from the spaghetti western wrapped in humor as They Call Me Trinity and its following, such as Trinity Is My Name, Trinity Is Still My Name, and Troublemakers, were run out and they were transferred to the police and action genre as they played in the Miami series, which are set in Florida, such as Miami Super Cops, Crime Busters, and Super Fuzz. Here, Terence Hill and Bud Spencer play the characters mistaken for the spies in the spy comedy parody spoof in this particular movie. Similarly, in their next movie, Miami Super Cops, as well as many other movies they've done, come to think of it. Enzo Barbani's Nati Camicia, aka Trinity, Hits the Road is the easy, most bizarre movie with Terence Hill and Bud Spencer, and also one of their funniest and best. The movie has everything we love about Terence Hill and Bud Spencer movies, but plenty of fistfights and ass kicking, wonderful lowbrow humor, and extremely dumb villains, the typical jokes and feeling, plus the most bizarre ending of all their movies as well, particularly as well. In any case, if you are looking for an intellectual comedy, no film with Terence Hill and Bud Spencer will be your taste. In case if you like Terence Hill and Bud Spencer movies, however, you should certainly not miss Trinity Hits the Road. I mean, or it's particularly like those non-Western movies, particularly. Yeah, because and also come to think of it, Terence Hill is known for My Name Is Nobody, I believe with Henry Fonda. He was also in the movie with Henry Fonda. I believe it was My Name Is Nobody. And Bud Spencer is known for It Can Be Done Amigo, and I believe he did Banana Joe and Bomber and The Sheriff and the Satellite Kid, and particularly he Everything Happens to Me, also known as Why Did You Pick on Me as well. And he was also in Detective Extra Large series, I believe, that he was also known for as well. I mean, come to think of it, because this is their typical Italian movie, especially the ones that feature Terence Hill and Bud Spencer as well. Come to think of it, because this movie is particularly did got a VHS release by Warner Home Video, and I mean, can you imagine if Warner Archive Collection would have gotten a hold of Terence Hill and Bud Spencer movie Go For It on a DVD or Blu-ray release? That'll be awesome, and that would have a English language track on there, and it'll be remastered as it was for any other as it was with any other Warner Archive titles. I mean, this is your tip, because I'm afraid that this needs a Warner Archive Blu-ray release as well. Come to think of it, as for this particular movie, like Terence Hill and Bud Spencer as well. For this particular movie on there, and come to think of it, because and also Bud Spencer was also known for as the genie in the movie. I believe it was Super Fantagenio, also known as Aladdin, which is an Italian American comedy film starring Janet Argan. I believe it was in 1986, which is distributed by Canon Films. But anyways, I mean, for the thing about the movie Go For It, I really loved it. And yet, this movie was only released on VHS back in the 80s or 90s on there by Warner Home Video. And yet, it hasn't gotten a DVD release yet in the United States of America, but I know it has got a DVD release in Germany as well as Italy as well. Can you imagine if Warner Archive gotten a DVD or Blu-ray release for Go For It with Terence Hill and Bud Spencer? Then this should acquire the English language track, and then it'll be remastered as well. So that's going to be it for my movie review on Terence Hill and Bud Spencer movie, which is Go For It, for today's movie review. Thank you for watching. But before we go, here's my thoughts on this. When I first watched it, I loved it because this got me into the Terence Hill and Bud Spencer movies. I mean, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure this movie looks like something Warner Archive would have gotten a DVD or Blu-ray release, because it needs to be like remastered as well. Come to think of it. Yep. I mean, this is your typical Italian movie, which is basically with some action, comedy, as well as in this particular with lots of laugh on there. If you haven't seen it, check it out, because this is my favorite Terence Hill and Bud Spencer movie that came out in the 80s. Hope to subscribe for content on my anime plan link in the description below. Share this video on our Twitter, Facebook if you have a Twitter, Facebook account, and all social media. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button on this video. Feel free to leave in the comments in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RoniK95. Feel free to join the channel, hit the notifications bell button, and I get on another movie review next. Stay tuned for my next movie review. I got another movie that I haven't reviewed for the next movie review on Pulp Fiction. Until next time.